Hello again, back on track here with the kebab endeavor. So I think I'm going to go down the arena as high as it can go here. Go up from there. This guy's a little difficult to hit. He's just got the cheap machine gun and missiles. Most of the time he'll just overheat himself. Kinda hope he doesn't run into those, but oh well. Like right there, he's already bleeding himself out. Definitely not being too successful in guessing which shoulder's gonna fire this time around. The only one that I can think of that's both fast and actually, like, any one of these ones that's actually fast enough to be a problem to hit like a little stabby spike, as well as also actually being a threat of any kind, would be Cypress. Like, he's a threat no matter what you do anyway. He's a bit of a cheating bastard. I think I'm probably going to end up swapping out either the legs or the arms for something a little bit less drainy, as much as I like this frame. I was hoping he'd slow down a little bit sooner there. Not really bothering to dodge the missiles much because, well, he really doesn't have enough firepower to be much of a threat anymore. Might as well just tank him and look for the stabs. Cancel out of it there. I wish this Parry blade had a cancel out actually. That'd be pretty dang convenient. Yeah, right there I was just testing to see if it would let me switch weapons in the middle of the animation. It doesn't. I would like to hit him at least once with this thing. Even his blade is the worst one. I tried a challenge with him a good while ago. It wasn't exactly challenging if you just use the missiles. The gun's useful for anything that's kind of small and non-threatening anyway. And he has enough missiles on him to pretty much take care of anything else. Reminded him how terrible of a miss that was. He was right there. He's certainly erratic enough to be a problem. Conveniently, I don't have to rely on the spike for him to be dead. There, good enough. Technically hit him, that'll have to do. Also, per someone's suggestion, I messed around with the settings of this emulator, so hopefully it'll look a little bit nicer. Seems a little bit clearer. I guess it can only be so much more clear. That's kind of what I was hoping for. This guy's all about strafing sideways. grazed him. Those. I overheated myself with my own stupid punch gun. I just don't know what they were thinking putting such a crappy weapon in the game. And yeah, if you're looking for an easier challenge run that's still pretty fun, Fragile's a fantastic one. The only thing, and I think I mentioned it earlier in these videos, the only thing with him is you kind of have to throw away one of his pulse cannons. A, he only ever needs one, and B, they're so heavy and drainy that that's where all of his energy problems come from. Without that, it's actually pretty viable. Just gonna tilt the camera down a little bit here to get a better angle with these. Probably would have had a good angle for a stab there if my controls had worked. It's either controls or reload. It's probably reload. This board controller has been very, very good for me, so I kind of doubt it's broken. Oh, crap. I thought I had switched to the mines. Clearly doing fantastic at this today. A little bit more kind of in the zone as it were last time. But well, works all the same. Okay, thank you for standing still. That's another thing. Partially because maybe they expected no one to actually use these things, but if you just stand there after you've just run into them, a lot of times you'll be able to still punch them on the way down because they're trying to hop over you or strafe around, but you're standing still, so they'll just land back on the ground. It's not consistent, but it's, I guess, an emergency idea. Yeah, this one's fast. Very fast. And he actually can take it out pretty easily. Thing is, though, one stab from this should just completely cripple him for the rest of the fight. He's basically got the worst AP in the arena, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure those legs either have the lowest or it might be the chicken legs that have the absolute lowest. So he won't overheat himself. I don't think he even uses his OB. He's very erratic and his arms can do a lot of damage. There, he did, looks like 620 with one shot. But he doesn't have much ammo, so evasion's definitely going to be the priority in the beginning of this fight. And he's got 80 of those missiles, but they do fire pretty fast. Almost. Extraordinarily itchy ear happened all of a sudden. One of the ones where you're just sitting there and it feels like your ear's gonna just suddenly fall off if you don't itch your ear, or scratch your ear. should have turned left a little more. I've had someone tell me that the front boosting boosters that he has there are supposed to be pretty good with the Parry blade. I don't believe them. That doesn't... That's way too many potential moving parts to make work. Now, when I was doing this the first time around, I ended up just nailing him right on one of his turns. And I pretty much took out 2/3 of his health, and since I was using a flamethrower, I just took him out with that. In there. A lot of near misses with this stupid thing. Can't really consistently hit him with the mines either, because of how he moves. All it takes is one. And that'll be the one. Goodbye. If the overheat doesn't kill him, one more set of mines will. I think he's got the one that can take a lot of heat before it goes, but ends up draining forever once it finally does. No, yeah, that's the one he has for sure. He's kind of an annoying one if you're a really aggressive player. Now, this is the other one that gives me a lot of trouble on a manual fire run of any kind. Because it's always hard to properly strafe. It's like, I don't know, there's something mentally that happens there. And punch. And that went right under him. That sucks. Wow, this is, what, is he freaking immune to this crap or something? Definitely have to commit a lot of energy to circling around this guy. And he's got the tiniest freaking hitbox. Come on now. Riskier and riskier with these stabs. There we go. Didn't do much to him, but it did enough. So as far as I'm aware, he doesn't really fire his pursuit missiles unless he can actually lock onto you for some reason. Which really doesn't seem to make much sense given their purpose. But what can you do? This guy just seems to like sitting there and taking it. Unlike his better equipped brother, though, the yellow guy with the nuke symbol, I can't remember his name at the moment. His machine gun's terrible, so he isn't very offensively capable, but for some reason he's just hard to strike around. And since pursuit missiles don't quite suck yet in this one, he can do a lot of damage with them, potentially. Mostly because you're trying to circle around him, and then suddenly all these missiles come up and just hit you in the butt. And it's not great. Ah, crap. He's going for a stab and my arm hadn't reloaded. Thankfully, that thing was too far away to detect me. Which is one thing that makes that weapon super frustrating if you try to use it against that big guy, the giant MT in the desert. Because you try to use it, and then you just all go off in different directions, because he actually moves a lot faster than it seems like he does. Trash. Yeah, your own mines can still hurt you. Like a little dance thing, but whatever. I need to check out the energy drain on this head. Something seems very wrong, drain-wise. The build is circling the drain, if you will. I'm not sure on that A on energy supply, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, allegedly it's good. According to this, it's the arms that are sucking. And allegedly, these are way better. So I'm gonna slap these little skeletal arms on there. See what happens. Maybe some stabbing. Dunno. Yeah, for the longest time I thought it's that break on the left side. I thought it was something in Russian or something. Dunno. And he's Mr. Blue Collar McFace. Now if I deploy it a little bit earlier, I have a better shot. It's so hard to tell what the hell's going on with that thing. I can definitely move faster with these arms. I do like this. Yeah, this is a good decision. Maybe a little bit of extra speed would be nice. And potentially not running into the rockets would be a bit of a boon for this endeavor. Now, since he's really accurate, and since he's just gonna drain himself out of ammo at a distance, yeah, he has 350 in the machine gun, 40 in the rockets, and I think he has a radar on the other side, so it's fairly simple to just run him out of ammo. As well, he has a blade, it's the wave blade one, so that doesn't track. At least I don't think it does. At any rate, he'll be extremely vulnerable at that point. That was dumb too. And this is where I wish, like rockets, these things would end up giving me their information, because I have no idea how much he has left. Just waiting for him to stop firing. Bomb him a little bit. And I think he might be out. Sworn that just went right through him. Perfect. So it's a little bit cheap, considering he's more or less helpless right now. But since I went for a lighter frame, and I might actually just pick up the shell defense arms when it's this kind of situation. Oh, he's using another useless weapon in the form of the floating mines, by the way. In case you want to miss the obvious floating mines over there. You just run straight into them. Yeah, so I can't really tank as much, I can't really get close. Which is fine. More evasion and all that. And I would ideally like to end up with just a nice little middle ground between evasion and defense. And I think even when he hit me with these mines, they only seem to do 200-ish. And that scenario right there, where you're just out of range, is the only time that the discount blade ever shines. Because it's got 1/6 longer range. It's just nothing, but you'll maybe get a kind of a rebate occasionally. Oh, apparently you can punch those mines. That's good to know. And he apparently still had weapons all this time, he just didn't want to use them. What the actual hell? I'm quite confused right now. And if I'm looking at these numbers right, yeah, I'm probably gonna die from overheat. Crap. Probably should have gone for the stab.